The requirement for fire retardant paint on AC 3/4-inch plywood backboards and telecom closets was not included in the 2002 National Electrical Code, or NEC. However, it was introduced in the 2005 NEC and has been included in subsequent editions. The relevant code section is the 2005 NEC section 800.51L. This section states that plywood backboards shall have a minimum fire resistance rating of 15 minutes and a minimum flame spread rating of 25. To clarify, the fire resistance rating refers to the material's ability to resist burning for a specific duration, in this case, 15 minutes. The flame spread rating indicates the speed at which a flame can spread across the material's surface. To meet the code requirement, AC 3/4-inch plywood backboards should be treated with a fire retardant paint or coating that enhances their fire resistance and flame spread resistance. While the 2002 NEC did not explicitly require fire retardant paint for plywood backboards, it did reference the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, 70 standard, which includes recommendations for fire safety in electrical installations. NFPA 70E suggests using fire retardant paint or coatings on combustible materials in hazardous areas, such as telecom closets. Therefore, the use of fire retardant paint on plywood backboards and telecom closets has been a recommended practice for some time, even though it was not explicitly required in the 2002 NEC. To further elaborate, let's discuss the specifics of meeting the 2005 NEC requirements and later additions related to fire retardant treatments for plywood backboards. Firstly, you need to ensure the plywood used is AC grade 3/4-inch thickness, as specified. The AC grading refers to the quality and appearance of the plywood faces. Secondly, it's crucial to select a fire retardant paint or coating that is specifically designed and tested to meet the minimum fire resistance rating of 15 minutes and a flame spread rating of 25, as per NEC section 800.51L. Look for products that have been tested and certified by a recognized testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories, or UL. Thirdly, carefully follow the manufacturer's instructions for application, including surface preparation, number of coats, and drying time. Proper application is essential to achieve the desired fire retardant properties. Applying too little or not properly preparing the surface can render the treatment ineffective. Fourthly, document the type of fire retardant paint or coating used, the date of application, and the certification information. This documentation may be required for inspections or insurance purposes. Fifthly, consider the environment where the plywood backboard will be installed. Factors like humidity and temperature can affect the long-term performance of the fire retardant treatment. Select a product that is suitable for the specific environmental conditions. Sixthly, be aware that some fire retardant treatments may release volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. Choose low VOC or zero VOC products to minimize indoor air quality concerns. Seventhly, regularly inspect the plywood backboards for any signs of damage or deterioration. Reapply the fire retardant treatment as needed to maintain its effectiveness. This is especially important in areas with high humidity or potential for physical abrasion. Eighthly, understand that the NEC requirements are intended to provide a minimum level of fire safety. In some cases, more stringent requirements may be necessary based on local codes, insurance requirements, or specific project needs. Ninthly, remember that fire retardant treatments do not make the plywood non-combustible. They slow down the spread of fire and provide valuable time for evacuation and fire suppression. Tenthly, ensure that all electrical work and installations in the telecom closet are performed by qualified and licensed electricians in accordance with all applicable codes and standards. This includes proper grounding, overcurrent protection, and wiring methods. In addition to the NEC and NFPA 70E, several other standards and guidelines may be relevant to fire safety in telecom closets. These include the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA 75 standard for the protection of information technology equipment, and the Telecommunications Industry Association, or TIA, standards for telecommunications infrastructure. These standards provide guidance on fire detection and suppression systems, ventilation, and other aspects of fire safety. It's important to consult with qualified fire protection engineers and electrical engineers to ensure that your telecom closet meets all applicable requirements. They can help you assess the specific risks and develop a comprehensive fire safety plan. Furthermore, consider the overall fire safety strategy for the building where the telecom closet is located. This includes factors like fire-rated walls and ceilings, fire doors, and sprinkler systems. The telecom closet should be integrated into the building's overall fire protection system. Remember that fire safety is an ongoing process. Regularly review and update your fire safety plan as needed to reflect changes in technology, building codes, and business operations. This includes training employees on fire safety procedures and conducting regular fire drills. Proper fire safety practices can help protect people, property, and business continuity. In some jurisdictions, local amendments to the NEC may exist that further specify requirements for fire retardant treatments. It is important to check with the local authority having jurisdiction or urge to ensure compliance with all applicable codes. In existing installations, it may be necessary to retrofit plywood backboards with fire retardant treatments to comply with current code requirements. This can be a challenging task, especially in occupied spaces. Careful planning and coordination are essential to minimize disruption and ensure a safe and effective installation. When selecting a fire retardant treatment, consider its compatibility with other materials that may be present in the telecom closet, such as cables, wiring, and equipment. Some treatments may be corrosive or may damage sensitive electronic equipment. Choose a product that is specifically designed for use in telecom environments. Also, be aware of the limitations of fire retardant treatments. They are not a substitute for proper fire prevention practices, such as eliminating ignition sources and storing flammable materials properly. Fire retardant treatments are just one component of a comprehensive fire safety plan. Furthermore, it's crucial to understand that the fire resistance and flame spread ratings are determined under specific laboratory test conditions. Actual fire performance may vary depending on factors such as the intensity of the fire, the ventilation conditions, and the presence of other combustible materials. Therefore, it's important to exercise caution and not rely solely on the fire retardant treatment to protect against fire damage. In addition to fire retardant paint or coatings, other fire-resistant materials can be used for plywood backboards. These include fire-rated plywood and non-combustible materials such as metal or cement board. These materials may be more expensive than fire-retardant treatments, but they offer superior fire protection. When using fire-resistant materials, ensure that they are properly installed and supported to maintain their fire resistance rating. This includes using fire-rated fasteners and sealants. Finally, remember that fire safety is a shared responsibility. Everyone who works in or around telecom closets should be aware of the fire hazards and should follow proper fire safety procedures. This includes reporting any fire hazards immediately and participating in fire drills. A proactive approach to fire safety can help prevent fires and minimize their impact. To summarize, the 2005 NEC and subsequent editions require AC 3/4-inch plywood backboards and telecom closets to have a minimum fire resistance rating of 15 minutes and a minimum flame spread rating of 25. This requirement can be met by treating the plywood with a fire retardant paint or coating that has been tested and certified to meet these ratings. It's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions for application and to document the type of treatment used. In addition to the NEC, other standards and guidelines may be relevant to fire safety in telecom closets. It's important to consult with qualified professionals to ensure that your telecom closet meets all applicable requirements. Remember that fire safety is an ongoing process and requires a proactive approach. By following these guidelines, you can help protect people, property, and business continuity. It's also worth noting that the definition of a telecom closet can vary depending on the specific code or standard being referenced. In general, a telecom closet is a dedicated space for housing telecommunications equipment such as servers, routers, and switches. However, the exact size and configuration of a telecom closet may vary depending on the specific application. It's important to consult the relevant codes and standards to determine the specific requirements for your situation. In some cases, a smaller enclosure may be considered a telecom enclosure rather than a telecom closet. The requirements for fire protection may be different for telecom enclosures. Also, be aware that the requirements for fire retardant treatments may be different for different types of plywood. The NEC specifically refers to AC 3/4 inch plywood, but other types of plywood may be used in telecom closets for other purposes. It's important to ensure that all plywood used in telecom closets meets the applicable fire safety requirements. In addition to plywood backboards, other combustible materials may be present in telecom closets, such as cable trays, wiring insulation, and equipment housings. These materials should also be evaluated for fire safety and treated with fire retardant coatings or replaced with non-combustible materials as needed. Furthermore, consider the impact of fire retardant treatments on the performance of telecommunications equipment. Some treatments may emit corrosive fumes or may interfere with the operation of sensitive electronic equipment. Choose a product that is specifically designed for use in telecom environments and that has been tested to ensure compatibility with telecommunications equipment. Also, be aware that the long-term effectiveness of fire retardant treatments may vary depending on the environmental conditions. Factors such as humidity, temperature, and exposure to ultraviolet or UV light can affect the performance of the treatment over time. It's important to inspect the treated plywood regularly and to reapply the treatment as needed to maintain its effectiveness. In addition to fire retardant treatments, other fire protection measures may be appropriate for telecom closets, such as fire detection and suppression systems. These systems can help to detect fires early and to suppress them before they spread. The type of fire detection and suppression system that is appropriate for a particular telecom closet will depend on the size and configuration of the closet, the type of equipment housed in the closet, and the overall fire safety strategy for the building. It's important to consult with qualified fire protection engineers to determine the best approach for your situation. Moreover, remember that fire safety is not just about meeting code requirements. It's about protecting people, property, and business continuity. A comprehensive fire safety plan should include not only fire retardant treatments and fire detection and suppression systems, but also employee training, fire drills, and regular inspections. By taking a proactive approach to fire safety, you can help to prevent fires and to minimize their impact. In addition, consider the potential for water damage in telecom closets. Water damage can be caused by leaks, floods, or fire suppression systems. Water can damage electronic equipment and can create a safety hazard. It's important to take steps to prevent water damage in telecom closets, such as installing leak detection systems and providing adequate drainage. Also, be aware that some fire retardant treatments may be water-soluble and may lose their effectiveness if exposed to water. Choose a product that is water-resistant or that can be reapplied after exposure to water. Furthermore, consider the potential for smoke damage in telecom closets. Smoke can damage electronic equipment and can create a health hazard. It's important to take steps to prevent smoke damage in telecom closets, such as installing smoke detectors and providing adequate ventilation. Also, be aware that some fire retardant treatments may produce smoke when exposed to fire. Choose a product that produces minimal smoke. In addition to the NEC and NFPA standards, other industry standards may be relevant to fire safety in telecom closets, such as the Telecommunications Industry Association, or TIA, standards for telecommunications infrastructure. These standards provide guidance on the design, installation, and maintenance of telecommunications equipment and infrastructure. It's important to consult these standards to ensure that your telecom closet meets the applicable requirements. Also, be aware that the requirements for fire safety in telecom closets may be different in different jurisdictions. It's important to check with the local authority having jurisdiction, or OJ, to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. Finally, remember that fire safety is an ongoing process. Regularly review and update your fire safety plan to reflect changes in technology, building codes, and business operations. This includes training employees on fire safety procedures and conducting regular fire drills. A proactive approach to fire safety can help protect people, property, and business continuity.